Tax season is officially here. I know you're groaning, but today's the first day you can actually file your taxes and maybe get a little bit of money back. We want to make sure that tax filing experience is as seamless for you as possible. I'm joined by Jeff Moss, who's a member of Daughter, Mann, Mulcahy & Sadler. You're a tax attorney.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So what's the first thing our viewers should do when they're thinking, hey, it's now I can file my taxes?
Well, thank you very much for having me. The first thing viewers should do is make sure they have their information together. This is gathering season. You should get your W-2s, your 1099s, your charitable deduction information, dependent care information. You should have it all together with last year's return so you know what to look for this year.
So why is that the first step? I mean, what's important about that, especially last year's return?
Making sure that you know where your sources of income are, making sure there aren't any changes. Maybe a child turned 18 or 19 and they're no longer a dependent. Maybe you had a new baby. Maybe you switched jobs. Whatever it is, you have to make sure all your information is accurate.
Now, one thing that we've been hearing about in the news, I remember us doing a story on it about a week or two ago. You can file today, but there may be a delay in some people getting their refunds. Where is that coming from, and who would that affect?
So there was a law passed at the end of 2015 called the PATH Act, the Protecting Americans from Tax Hikes Act. And because there has been fraud in the system with people putting in wages that weren't correct or children that didn't exist, the law now says that if you're applying for the Earned Income Tax Credit or the Child Tax Credit, that refunds will be delayed. They won't begin until February 15th, and they probably won't be processed until February 27th.
So that literally is going to be several weeks for people. You know, you're a tax attorney. How do, let's say you look at something like TurboTax or a do-it-yourselfer. What are some of the common problems that a person like me who might just do it myself would run into? Who would need a tax attorney? I don't have a big business. I don't have any terribly complicated return.
Well, TurboTax is good for people that have regular wages, normal income and things, or if they are experienced and they know what boxes to check and things like that. Other people would use a tax preparer. A tax attorney gets more involved in audits and business buy-sells and structuring or creating charities or estate tax matters.
So in many cases, the time to turn to a tax attorney isn't necessarily at the time of filing. It's when you actually begin to initiate some of these more complicated things like either buying a business, selling a business, maybe starting a business?
Yes, preparing and planning for deductions for the tax year. If you're looking at your income statements or you're looking at deductions or things, we can help your business or individuals take their maximum planning and deductions in the future.
Now, what are some of the, you know something? Thank you so much for joining us. I was about to ask you another question, but we've just run out of time.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Taxes are on the minds of a lot of folks, and of course, we'll bring you more throughout the tax season. You're watching 7 Action News this morning on TV 20 Detroit.